Thank you for joining the EasySoft online webinar, Creating Your Own Real Estate Closing Templates. Rather than entering the same information over and over, we now offer the option to create templates. This feature will save you time getting your closings entered quickly and efficiently. After you've logged in, you'll be able to access the closing templates from our Tools drop-down menu. You can see on the screen, I've already created some examples. So your templates can be created for any general information that you are typing over and over in closings. So for instance, I've created a 15-year and a 30-year mortgage template. I've also created a few for lenders, and you'll see that the lenders I've used are set for purchase and a refinance. And you can also create your closings for buyers or borrowers you work with over and over again. So for instance, I did create a HUD for Jay Casanese, and you'll be able to name these so you'll know exactly what you're using when you create your closing. So from this screen, you'll be able to create your new templates. You can create it for the CD, the HUD as I explained earlier, and the HUD 1A. So today I'm going to create a CD template, and I'm going to create this for a lender. So we're just going to do lender CD, and you'll be able to enter that template name at the top. You want to make sure that you're only entering that general information in. So try to avoid entering any dates in, because you will have to change those since they will change for each specific closing. You can enter the transaction information for that lender. So today I'm just going to create one for TD Bank. You can enter that loan information. So I'm going to set this as a 30-year mortgage and leave it for purchase. You can set your loan product if you like. So if they are a fixed rate lender, you can set that, and then you won't have to change it. Make sure you don't enter in any of the property information. You can mark the sale price here from the drop-down menu, but don't enter any of your values in. Within the loan terms, obviously your loan amount's going to change for each borrower, but what you can do, depending upon your lender, is you can mark your radio buttons if the amount can increase after the closing. You can also set it if there is a prepayment penalty for that specific lender as well. Within the projected payment section, you can enter in your information if you need to. If there is a balloon payment, you can check that box, so then you won't have to worry about it for your closings. And we also have the feature range of payments. So you can show your minimum and your maximum fields and keep that checked as well. You'll be able to enter in if you're including in your estimates your property taxes or your homeowner's insurance. So depending upon where you live, those might already be included. And if you also keep that amount in escrow. So once you've finished entering in your information on page 1, you'll be able to go over to page 2, which is where most of your information for the template will be added in. So I'm going to start in the loan costs so we can enter in our origination charges. So for instance, I'm going to add in an application fee. And I can enter in, I'm going to actually enter in a processing fee. So you'll see that we have a drop-down menu available to you, but you can also enter in your own verbiage for any of the fees. So if those fees that you're entering aren't changing, you can go ahead and enter those in. So if they're not specific to to your closing or the borrower. So now under services borrower did not shop for, we can enter in our appraisal fee. And that might change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those fields empty. But my credit report fee, that's probably not going to change. And I know that I'm going to expect that money before closing. So I'm going to make sure that that value is in the column before closing, paid by the borrower. So you'll see that we do offer you the borrower paid columns at closing and before closing, and also the seller paid at closing and before closing. So if there's something that the seller always pays for, you can enter that value in and it'll be saved right into that template. You can choose any of the fees that are available in our dropdown. And again, you can also type in anything. So if we have a closing protection letter and you need to update that verbiage, anything that we offer you in the dropdown, you can choose that. You can also update that information. So I just took the word title out, and then you'll be able to save that. So I'm going to mark this as $25. And then section C is your services borrower did shop for. So we might have a courier fee. Our settlement agent's fee. And then you can add in any other fees that are going to be expected in the closing, but you don't necessarily know those values yet. And we'll do our lender's insurance. So those are our loan costs, and then we can scroll down to our other costs. So dependent upon the state that you live in, you can set your jurisdiction. So for instance, Colorado, they have one jurisdiction. It's not specific to if it's a residential or a construction loan. So you can set that and save that as well. So you won't need to worry about that going forward. Your prepaids, we wouldn't necessarily enter in, or the initial escrow payments at closing. But you can enter in any other payments. So maybe legal fees, a broker's commission, and maybe the owner's title insurance. Again, we don't necessarily know the values of those, and it will change for each closing. So I'm just going to have that there. It's going to save you time, and it'll get your closing done a lot faster. So for a purchase, we know that page 3 is your cash to close page. So this is going to be specific to that closing. You won't really have necessarily anything to enter on this page, but we can go over to page 4, and anything for your loan disclosures, you'll be able to choose the radio buttons if it's general to all closings. You can also mark your late payments. So for the lender, it might be if it's more than 15 days late, It might be a $50 charge. So you can set this information ahead of time, and then it'll already be there when you utilize your template. At the bottom, you have your adjustable payment tables and your adjustable interest rate tables. So you can go down and check any of these if those are something that you use consistently in your closings. And remember that page 5 has your loan calculations, your general contact information, and then you can mark other disclosures. So if you'd like to know or like to have your appraisal, you can check your print appraisal statement on the form, and that'll already be checked for you. And just make sure that if you have, if you prefer your addendums to print, you can have that checked, or you can uncheck that option as well. Once you're done entering the information in for your template, you can go ahead and save it. And I'll show you that that has populated in my list now. Here's my lender CD for TD Bank. So now we've created our template. How are we going to utilize this? Good question. We're going to go back to our home screen. We're going to click on New Closing. Now, instead of starting with a blank closing, we're going to choose From Template. Your list is going to pop open, and you're actually going to choose that template that you want to create the closing from. I'm going to hit Select. It's going to populate my closing with all the information that I've already entered in. So what you can go ahead, you're going to do your date issued, enter in that specific closing information. I'm going to enter a file number. You can go ahead and enter in that borrower and the seller information and the property information. Now, if anything doesn't need to be checked, so for instance, let's say this loan amount can't increase after closing, you can set this radio button back to no. So anything that you've already entered in can be updated in the current closing. I will show you that all of the information that we've entered on page 2 is showing you. So here's our application fee and our processing fees, our services the borrower did not shop for. So now we're in our specific closing, and you can go ahead and enter in your appraisal fee. Maybe our seller is paying for this one. So once you're done with your closing, you'll be able to save it. I have a little delay on my internet today. Sorry, guys. Here we go. And then when you go back to your home screen, here's the closing that we just created, file 52-3. Now, let's say that you just went into that template and you noticed something was entered incorrectly. You can go ahead, go back to the Tools menu, click Closing Templates, and we can use the Edit Closing Template icon. I'm going to go in and I'm going to change. I don't want my loan product to be set to fixed rate, so we're going to clear that out. Once I've updated any information that was incorrectly entered, I'll just be able to save it, and those new settings will be in that template. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are on social media, so if you are on Twitter, you can follow us at EasySoft Legal, and also you can follow us on LinkedIn as well. We know your time is valuable, so we've been doing shorter webinars to save some time and get that information out to you quickly. But if you do have any questions, you can contact EasySoft at 800-905-7638. You can reach any department here. You can also contact support by clicking support on the bottom of any page in the software. We do have our articles updated, so you can access the articles to review any questions you might have. We're always looking for feedback, so please use our feedback link. Our product manager will get this information and be able to discuss any questions or ideas that you have with the development team. You can create a support case Monday through Sunday, 24 hours a day. And you can also reach us on live chat Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do have any questions about today's webinar, we will be posting this on our webinars page. But I've also created an article. And if you just go to EasySoft Online, it's the first one listed right now. So you can click on Add New Closing Templates, and this will walk you through the steps that I showed you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.